Hallo,
Hello,
schön bist du da.
wonderful you are here.
Ich freue mich
I'm
so,
so happy
jetzt hier mit dir so zu reden
now here to talk with you
und dir einfach diese wunderschönen Nachrichten und Neuigkeiten mit dir zu
and
teilen.
simply to share these beautiful messages and news with you.
Mach's dir bequem,
Make yourself comfortable,
fühl dich wohl.
feel comfortable.
Es ist Zeit zum sich entspannen.
It's time to relax yourself and to enjoy.
Ich erzähle dir heute, was auf der Erde so los ist.
I will tell you today what's going on the earth right now,
Weil es ist ja ganz viel los.
because a lot of things are going
Also nicht
on,
nur in meinem Leben,
not only in my
wenn
life,
ich die Nachrichten schaue.
but also when I watch the news.
Passiert gerade sehr viel.
So many things are going on,
Und es ist toll.
and it's wonderful. It's good.
Es ist gut. dass
It's
so viel
good. It's
passiert.
good that so much is happening right now.
Also nimm einfach einen tiefen
So
Atemzug
just take a deep breath
und mach's dir gemütlich.
and relax. Make yourself comfortable.
Okay. Also, ich bin die Lena.
So I am Lena.
Ich bin ein
I am a
Kristallkind.
crystal child.
Ich bin Autorin
I'm
von
author
den Büchern für dich und dein
of the
Herz
books
und wir
for you and your
Kristallkinder.
heart and we crystal children in German.
Und ich bin hier auf der Erde
And I'm here on the
mit meinem
earth
klaren Licht und mit meiner Liebe, die Liebe und die Wahrheit und die Klarheit auf die Erde zu
to
bringen.
bring with my clear light, the love and the truth here to the earth.
Das Sein auf der Erde kennenzulernen und zu
And simply
genießen.
to get to know the being here on the
Am
earth and to
Anfang war
enjoy
das für
it.
mich ganz schwierig,
In the beginning it was very difficult for
weil ich
me.
mich überhaupt nicht ausgekannt habe.
Because I
Ich war immer verwirrt und
was
ich fand es
disoriented
irgendwie
here.
toll,
I was
hier auf der
confused.
Erde zu sein,
I didn't
weil
enjoy
ich
to
habe
be in
mich
the earth
erinnert,
here
wie mein Heimatplanet ist
because
und
I
das
remembered how
so
my home
schön
planet
ist, ich immer
looks
zurück
like, and
wollte.
it's so beautiful.
Und
I always
jetzt
wanted to
im
go
Moment
back.
ist mein Körper 29
And
Jahre
now that
alt
my body is 29 years old
und mir gefällt das Leben immer mehr und immer
and
besser.
life is so much more enjoyable and always more
Es ist so
enjoyable for
schön,
me.
weil ich kommuniziere sehr viel mit der geistigen
So
Welt
beautiful
und folge
because
einfach
I'm
meinem Herzen.
communicating so much with the
Und das
spiritual
macht mich
world
einfach so glücklich.
and I'm following my
Je
heart
mehr ich
and it makes
verstehe,
me so happy.
wie es ist,
And
ein
the more
Mensch zu
I'm
sein und wie
understanding
die Erde ist
how it
und
is to be
wie
human, how
die
the earth
Illusionen
is,
funktionieren
how the
und wie
illusions are
funktioniert und wie
functioning,
Wahrheit funktioniert,
how the
umso
how the
angenehmer
love
ist es
is
einfach.
working, how the truth is
Und das
working,
möchte ich mit dir teilen,
the more comfortable it is.
damit auch du
And so I
einfach
want to share this with you
dein
so
Leben genießen
that you
kannst
can
und
also
das
simply
Spiel
enjoy your
auf der
life
Erde verstehst, weil
and understand
wenn
this
du
game
etwas
here on the
spielst und du
earth.
verstehst das Spiel nicht,
Because
dann macht
if
das
you
Spiel
play
Spaß
something and you don't
irgendwie,
understand
weil
this
klar,
game,
dann
then
denkst
it's
du
no
irgendwie, das
fun.
ist anders.
Then you simply think, oh, it's something else.
Und ich möchte dir zum Anfang eine Geschichte
In the
erzählen
beginning,
aus
I
meinem
want to
Leben,
share you,
was ich
share a
erlebt habe.
story with you, what
Und
I've
danach
experienced in
werde
my
ich
life,
dir erklären
and
und
then
sagen, was auf der Erde
I
läuft.
also will explain and
Also das
tell you
war
what's
so,
going
wo
on the
ich
earth.
14 Jahre alt
So when
war,
I was
so
about
14, 15
14,
Jahre alt,
15 years old,
saßen wir bei meinem Onkel
we were
am Tisch und
sitting
haben
at the
gegessen.
table with
Und
my
wir als
uncle,
Familie.
whole
Und nach
family,
dem Essen
my uncle's home.
haben wir immer diskutiert und
And after the
geredet und
meal,
so.
we were talking and
Und ich war
sharing.
damals, also wie eigentlich die meisten
And then,
Jugendliche so sind,
as most of the
voller
youth are, I
Ideen und
was
voller
full
Freude und
of
voller Power und voller
ideas, full of
Enthusiasm, diese
creativity,
Welt zu verändern.
full of power, and
Ich
full
wusste
of
genau, wir brauchen Frieden auf dieser
enthusiasm
Erde
to
und ich wusste
change this
genau, wir
world.
können das so
I knew
machen
very
oder so
clearly we
oder
need
so oder
peace on
so.
the
Und
earth, we can do it like
ich
this, do
saß
it
am
like
Tisch,
that.
wir waren fertig mit dem Essen
And then
und ich
we
war
finished
so
our
voller
meal
Stolz und
and
voller
full of
Freude und
pride and joy
Motivation
and
und
motivation,
ich könnte gleich alle Bäume ausreißen,
as if I
weil ich
could
erzählt,
pull
ja,
out
und diese Erde
the
braucht
trees.
Frieden und wir müssen
I felt
zusammenarbeiten
and
und
I
wir müssen
spoke
es
it.
so machen und die Politiker
The
müssen es
earth
so
needs
machen und wir müssen
peace
es
and
so
we have to
machen
do
und
it
so.
this way and the
Und ich habe
politicians have to do
erzählt
it
und
this
ich war
way.
so in dieser
And I
Freude
explained that
und
and I
ich
was
bin
so much in this
übergeschäumt.
joy and fully bubbling over,
Verwandten waren einfach still. Und dann
and my relatives, they were
irgendwann
completely
hat
silent.
mein Onkel angefangen.
And then after a while, my uncle started,
Nein, das geht
yes,
nicht.
no,
Und
that
kommst
doesn't
du überhaupt
work.
auf so
How can
Ideen? Und das
you
kann gar nicht
have
sein.
such an
Und
idea?
nein, also
Cannot be,
früher,
or
wo ich
no.
alt war wie du, hab ich
Earlier,
auch
when I was
gedacht,
so
dass das
young
geht
as you are
und
now,
so. Und
I also thought
der
that
hat
would
richtig
work.
auf mich
And he really
richtig
talked
negativ. Und
talked into
ich
me
hatte
and
das
was really
Gefühl, er will
negative.
mich stoppen.
And I felt like he wants to stop me.
Und ich war so perplex
I was so
über seine
perplexed
Reaktion.
about his reaction.
Ich fand das so komisch, dass
I
er
felt so
so
strange
negativ
about it,
redet und
that he was talking so
mir das
negatively
aufregen
and
wollte.
wanted
Und ich
to
habe ihm gesagt, nein, und hör bloß auf,
stop
und
me
das
with
darf ich
my
auch mal,
stop
und
me in
das
my
kann
tracks.
anders und so.
And no,
Und ich habe ihn
it's
dann
gonna
nur
be
so
different and so on.
mit solchen Augen
And I just
angeschaut
looked at him
und
like this,
habe einfach gedacht, also
with open eyes, and
irgendwas
just
stimmt
thought
hier nicht.
something is wrong here. Something
Und
is
dann
going
schaue
wrong.
ich so am Tisch rum und
And then I looked
schaue so
around
meine
at the
Tante
table
an.
and I looked at my
Sie ist
auntie.
einfach ruhig
She's simply
und
silent,
sagt nichts. Und
doesn't
dann
say
schaue ich
anything.
zu meinem
Then I looked to
Vater
my
und
dad,
er sagt auch
and he
nichts.
also didn't say anything.
Und ich schaue meine
And I
Mutter
looked
an
towards
und
my
sie
mother,
sagt
and she's not
nichts.
saying
Und
anything.
auch meine Cousins und
And
meine
also my
Geschwister haben
cousins and my
einfach nichts gesagt. Und
siblings, they didn't say anything.
dann schaue ich wieder meinen
And
Onkel
then I
an
looked
und
again at
dann
my uncle,
sehe ich, wie er total aufgewühlt ist.
and then I see how he is
Und
really,
dann,
how it's
und dann
working in
dachte
him.
ich, also
And then I
irgendwas auf
thought,
dieser Erde,
something on this earth,
irgendwas läuft
something
hier schief.
is going wrong
Weil,
here.
ich meine, wenn doch
Because
jemand Junges
when
so
someone,
viel
someone so
Enthusiasm
young
und so
has so
viel
much
positive
enthusiasm
Einstellung
and
hat,
so much
so viele Ideen
positive
und so viel
focus,
Freude,
so many ideas, so
die
much
Welt zu
joy
verbessern,
to
dann
improve
muss
the
man doch
world,
das unterstützen.
then you've got to support this, isn't it?
Dann lässt man sich doch davon
Then
anstecken. Also ich
you
habe eigentlich
be
damit gerechnet, dass
affected by
meine Verwandten
this.
sagen, ja, du hast recht.
I
Und
actually
ja,
expected that my
probier's. Und
relatives say, yes,
mach's.
it's
Oder
right,
irgendwie so, ja, ich
try
helfe
it, we
dir
will help
und
you,
sowas. Und ich
or
wäre
something
nie
like that.
darauf gekommen,
I would never imagine that
dass die mich davon
they would
abhalten wollen.
want to stop me in my tracks.
Und dann in dem Moment sehe ich, wie in
And
meinem
then I
Onkel
was seeing
dieser
how
Traum, dieser Wunsch,
this dream,
den er auch hatte, wo er jung war,
this
dass
desire
der
in my
gebrochen
uncle,
war, dass der
he
wieder
also
tief
had
war,
it
dass er wieder
when he was
aufgegeben hat.
young, but then
Und
it was gone, it was kind of broken.
dass er
He
diesen
gave it
Traum,
up.
diesen Wunsch,
And that
dieses Bedürfnis nach die Welt zu verbessern,
this desire
dass
to
er das
change the
aufgegeben
world,
hat,
improve the
das
world,
hat ihn so
he had
drin
given it
gemacht
up,
und
and
so
that made
geistig
him
und so.
so
Und in dem Moment
so
verstand ich, weil ich,
in
also
this
ich lese
condition.
halt immer die Aura oder ich
Then I
schaue immer,
understood it when
wenn mir etwas
I'm
komisch
seeing the
vorkommt,
aura, and
dann schaue ich immer,
when
wieso.
something is looking
Was ist
strange
mit
to
diesem
me, then
Menschen
I
passiert,
look,
dass
why
er
is it?
so spricht.
I looked at
Und dann
him
habe
and
ich gesehen, wie er das aufgegeben hat und wie
saw
das
how he
seine
gave it up,
Lebensfreude gekostet
that
hat,
it
wie er
took
nicht
away his
glücklich
joy
ist,
in life, how he is not
verbittert ist.
happy anymore, how he is
Dann
bitter.
komme ich so jung
And then
und
I'm
so voller
coming, so
Freude und habe
young,
so
full
viele
of joy,
Ideen
have
und
so many ideas,
das kann er dann nicht
and then
haben.
he cannot accept this.
Und in dem Moment,
And then in this moment,
wo ich das gesehen
when I
habe,
saw this,
dass er
that
diesen Traum aufgegeben
he
hat
had given up this dream,
und dass dieses
and that this
Aufgeben
giving
dazu
up
führt, dass er so
led
traurig und bitter ist.
to him being so
In
sad and
dem
so
Moment
bitter.
habe ich
In this
habe
moment,
ich einfach eine Entscheidung für mich
I
getroffen
took a
und ich habe
decision
einfach
for
immer wieder
myself, and I
gesagt, so,
told
hey,
myself,
ich werde diesen
hey,
Wunsch und ich
I'm
werde
going
diesen Traum
to,
nie
I'm never
aufgeben.
going to
Nie.
give up this dream and this desire,
Und das war
never.
für mich so
And this was so
stark
strong for me,
und das habe ich bis heute noch in mir drin.
and I
Und ich habe
still
mir so
have this
geschworen,
inside
dass
of me
egal
till
was
today.
kommt,
And I
egal wie
promised to
viele Leute
myself,
das nicht
doesn't
stoppen
matter
wollen
what's
und
gonna happen, what's gonna come, no
egal
matter
wie
who is
viel
gonna
Glück mich
stop,
nehmen muss
try
und
to stop
egal
me,
durch wie viel
no matter how
Schmerzen
many
und wie
hurdles I'm
Angst
gonna
ich durchgehen
take or
muss, ich werde
go
es
through pain or
nie
fears, I will
aufgeben,
never give this
weil
up,
ich genau
because I
gesehen habe,
saw
wie das
clearly
rauskommt. Ich habe gesehen, wie mein Onkel verbittert ist,
how
wie
this,
meine Eltern
the result of it
gar
is, how
keine
my
Worte
uncle was so
finden,
bitter.
weil sie es
And my
auch
parents also had no
aufgegeben
words
haben.
about it, because somewhere they
Dass
gave
ich
it
mir
up as well.
gesagt habe, hey
And
nein,
I told myself, hey,
ich werde es
no,
nie
I'm
aufgeben.
never
Ich werde
gonna
immer dafür
give it up.
kämpfen, für
I
meinen
will
Wunsch,
always
für meine
fight for
Vision, für
my
das, was ich
desire,
für diese
fight for
Erde
my
möchte.
vision, what I want for this earth.
Und damals war ich so traurig
And then I was so
sauer
sad
auf meinen Onkel, dass er mich
that long
so
time ago,
nicht
that my
unterstützt
uncle
und dass er mich so
didn't support
anzweifelt
me,
und dass
that
er
he
mich
was doubting me
sozusagen
so much,
abhalten
that
will
he wanted to
davon.
stop me in my tracks.
dass ich ganz lange
that
nicht mehr mit ihm reden wollte.
I didn't want to talk to him for a long time.
Jetzt
And
bin
now
ich ihm dankbar,
I
weil
am
ich
grateful
weiß,
to him
er hat mir
because I
geholfen,
know he
diese
helped
tiefe
me
Entscheidung zu treffen.
to take this deep and
Er hat
profound
mir
decision.
geholfen, diesen Schwur
He helped
mir
me
gegenüber
to
zu machen, dieses tiefe
that I could
Verständnis
make
von,
this
hey Lena,
strong promise
egal
towards
was
myself.
kommt, du gibst es mir
Hey
auf.
Lena, whatever may come, you will never give it
Und
up.
ja, jetzt, was sind es jetzt,
And
15
now it
Jahre
has been
danach?
about 15
Ich
years.
hab's nicht
I have never
aufgegeben, ja!
given it up. Yeah,
Ich stehe immer noch hier
I'm still
und
standing here.
auch wenn
And
ich in den
even
letzten Jahren viel erlebt habe, sehr
even
viel
if I've
Schlimmes,
experienced a lot of
aber auch
things, also
sehr viele
difficult
schwierige
things,
Herausforderungen hatte
all
und
these
sehr viele
years, had many
schwere Momente
challenges,
hatte.
difficult moments,
Ich habe einfach nie
I have never given
aufgegeben.
up.
Und das ist mein Wunsch
And that is
für
my
dich
wish for
oder
you
für
or
alle
for all
Menschen,
human
dass
beings,
ihr einfach, dass du deinen
that
Wunsch, deinen Traum, den du in dir trägst, für die Welt, für die Natur, für die
that
Tiere,
you
für die
never
Menschen,
give
dass du
up
den einfach nie
this
aufgibst.
dream, this wish for
Und du kannst
yourself,
dir
for the nature, for
beide
the
auf die
world, that
Seite
you never
tun,
give
wenn
it
du
up.
echt dir nicht vorstellen
Of
kannst,
course,
wie du das machen
you can
sollst.
put it on the side for a
Aber gib
while
einfach
if you
nicht
don't know
auf,
how to
weil
do
das
it,
tut einfach
but
nicht
never
gut.
give it up because that really doesn't do good.
Ja, und das ist auch das, was die Erde braucht.
And that is also what the earth needs,
Dass wir einfach das
that we
tun,
simply
was wir
do what
fühlen.
we feel
Und dass wir einfach den Mut
and that we have
haben,
the courage
das zu
to
tun.
do it.
Ja.
Yes.
Und mein Onkel
And my uncle
heute
today,
ist ganz spannend.
it's very exciting.
Heute bin ich ein Vorbild für ihn.
Today I am like an idol for
Also er hat
him.
natürlich ganz lange
Of
das
course, for a
verurteilt,
long
was ich
time
mache, was
he
ich
condemned
mache.
what
Und
I've been
jetzt, wo er
doing,
sieht,
what
dass
I'm
ich so
working
viel
with.
Erfolg habe,
Now that he is seeing that
also
I'm
ich habe 2
so
Bücher
successful, I wrote 2 books.
geschrieben, ich habe über 3000
I
Leute
have
beraten,
given
ich
consultation
habe
for
schon
about
über 3
3,000 people.
Millionen Leute
I've
erreicht mit
reached
meinen
already
Botschaften
about
und
3
meinen
million
Messages.
people with my
Ja,
messages.
und wo er einfach sieht, hey, sie ist einfach immer noch
And
glücklich und
he's
sie kann
seeing
ihr
that,
Leben
oh,
einfach
she
immer noch
is
meistern.
still happy and she can still master her life.
Traut er sich langsam auch wieder
Now
seinen Schal
slowly
abzulegen
he's
und
daring
langsam das zu
to
leben,
leave
was
his
in ihm
shell
anschlummert.
and to live
Ja, und
what
jetzt
is
ist er auch
dormant in
pensioniert,
him.
also
And now
hat er
he's
jetzt auch
also
wirklich die Möglichkeit, das
in
zu tun.
pension and
Mhm.
he has
Ja,
the
das
ability
ist
now,
schön.
he's
Und
able to do it now.
so geht's halt. So
So that's
gehen wir
beautiful.
miteinander auf der Erde, die Menschen.
So like this it goes.
Dass wir
We human
voneinander
beings on the
lernen
earth,
und
we're
miteinander
dealing like
gehen.
this or we are going with each
Und
other
das
in that
Schritt
way
für
to
Jahr
learn
sind
from each
andere
other,
Schritt
to
voraus,
go along
aber
with each other.
ja,
Sometimes
nimm
you
die
are
Menschen
ahead,
an die
sometimes the
Hand,
other is a
bitte.
step ahead.
Erkläre
Take the
ihnen,
hand of
wieso
the
du so
people,
bist. Erkläre ihnen,
explain
wie
to
du dich
them
fühlst.
why you are like that,
Sei
how you
einfach
feel.
dich selber.
Simply be yourself.
Ja,
Yes,
das war eine
that was a
Kurzgeschichte.
short story.
Gut,
Good.
jetzt schauen wir an, was denn hier so auf der Erde
Now we are
läuft.
going to look at what's going on here on the earth.
Also im
So,
Moment ist es ja so,
the
dass
moment
sehr viele Menschen Angst haben.
It's the case that
Angst
many
vor
people are
Veränderung. Und
afraid,
das ist ganz
afraid
normal.
of changes, and that is
Wir
very
haben immer
normal.
Angst vor neuen Sachen,
We're
weil wir es
always
nicht
afraid,
kennen.
afraid of new things
Und
because we
unser
don't
Herz
know
hat
it.
aber nie Angst.
But
Und
our
unsere Seele
heart
hat auch
is
nie
never
Angst, weil sie
afraid, and
genau
our soul is
weiß,
also
was
never
kommt
afraid
und weil
because
sie
it
genau weiß, was
always
für uns
knows
gut ist.
exactly what's coming and knows what's good for us.
Und deshalb ist so
That's
wichtig,
why it's so
auch
important.
wenn überall Angst ist,
Even
und auch wenn
there's
in den Medien,
fear
in den
everywhere
Zeitungen
and
und
in the
so
media
viel
and the
Angst
newspapers
versucht wird zu
trying
machen,
to
geschürt wird.
create the fear.
Es gibt
There's
keinen
no
Grund zur
reason
Angst.
to be afraid.
Es gibt
There's
keinen
no
Grund
reason
zur
to
Angst.
be afraid.
0,0% brauchst du Angst zu haben.
0.00% you don't need to be afraid.
Das ist das Erste, was uns die geistige
That's
Welt
the
und die
first
Veränderung einfach
thing that
mitgeben
the
möchte.
spiritual world wants to
Fürchte
tell
dich
us in
nicht.
this transition, in this change.
Du bist sicher,
Don't be
du bist
afraid, you are
geliebt, du bist
secure,
umsorgt
you are
und für
loved,
dich ist
you are taken
immer
care
alles
of, and for you is always taken
egal,
care.
auch wenn es scheinen mag,
Doesn't matter,
dass
even
etwas
though
Schlimmes
it may
kommt,
appear
oder
that
auch wenn es
something
scheinen mag, dass etwas schlimm ist.
something terrible may
Es ist wie mit
come
einer
or
Angst.
appear.
Wenn die
It's
Angst so
exactly
groß
with the
ist,
fear. If the
dann
fear
hast
is
du
so
das Gefühl, du
big,
stirbst.
then you have the feeling you're gonna die.
Aber du
But
stirbst
you're not
nicht.
dying. It's simply the feeling. The feeling feels so real and so big, but you don't have to worry at all. Everything is alright, everything is in divine order. It's even better than this. It's all in super duper order. Yes. So you can relax, you can calm down. You can also help your fellow human beings to calm down. Everything is alright as it is. It's all good as it is.
Okay,
Alright.
und jetzt erkläre ich dir,
now I'm gonna explain to you
das sein kann,
how it can be that
alles in Ordnung
everything is alright, everything is in order, and still we have so much chaos and we are so afraid.
Dir das zu erklären,
To explain this to you, I've painted something,
manchmal sieht man es mit Bildern.
because sometimes you can see it better. You can see it better with a painting or picture.
Und das zeige ich dir
You can
jetzt.
better understand it. So this I'm going to show you now.
Es geht eigentlich darum, zu verstehen, was heißt eigentlich ein Mensch zu sein.
It's more about understanding what it is to be a human being, because
Kommt jetzt ein bisschen
most
zurück.
humans
Aber
are thinking,
nur ein bisschen.
now it's a little bit of theory,
Weil
a
die
little bit.
meisten Menschen denken,
Most human beings think
dass wir hier aufhören.
that we are stopping here. Here we are finished.
Also, dass wenn hier der Kopf ist,
So when
das
here
ist
is the
das
head,
Ende
that
von
is
unserem Körper.
that is the end of our body, but it's not true.
Wie das dann genau ist.
Here I'm going to show you now how it's actually.
Hier siehst du einen Mensch
Here you see a human being
in der dritten
in the
Dimension,
third dimension,
wo wir jetzt sind.
where we are right now.
Und dann gibt's
And
aber
then
noch die vierte
there's
Dimension,
also the fourth
die fünfte
dimension, the fifth,
und die
and the
sechste
sixth,
und die siebte
and the seventh,
und die achte.
and the eighth.
Moment, die achte. So,
So
es gibt noch mehr Dimensionen,
there are even more dimensions,
aber mein menschliches Gehirn
but my
kann
human
nicht
brain
weiter,
cannot
darüber hinausschauen oder
look
das sehen
beyond
und so weiter.
this or feel or see that.
Gut. Also das heißt, hier
Alright.
haben wir den Menschen auf der dritten Dimension. Ja?
So we have this human being on the third dimension,
Und dann, jetzt sieht man,
and now
hier,
you see here
der Mensch geht aber hier weiter.
the human being
bis
is
nach oben.
continuing here until the top.
Das heißt, wir hören beim Kopf nicht
So
auf,
we are
sondern
not
wir
finished
gehen
at the
bis nach
head,
oben
but
weiter. Also ich sehe,
we are
bei den meisten
we
Menschen sehe ich,
continue
dass sie eigentlich so
above.
eine Lichtröhre
So I
sind.
see mostly that
Die Seele, also unsere
human beings are like a channel of light.
Das mehr, was du bist. Und das
So
ist eigentlich
the
nicht
spirit, the
immer.
soul,
Also das heißt, hier
always
ist der kleine
we are told we are
Menschkopf
more
da
than that. So that is meant by that.
und die geht aber dann weiter bis nach oben.
And here you see
So, und hier
the
oben
light
die
channel, and it
achte,
goes up.
das bezeichne ich als die
And here is
Seele.
the eighth. And the eighth dimension I
Das
call
Selbst,
the soul
das
or
Gebet,
the higher
wie
self
man das
or
nennen möchte.
the super I, however you want to call it.
Ist Licht und Liebe
And here
und alles
upstairs is
wundervoll.
light and
Also
love.
die Seele
Everything
geht
is
dann
wonderful.
weiter wahrscheinlich.
The
Weiß ich
soul
nicht.
probably
Ich
goes more up.
Ich sehe nur bis zu der
I'm not
achten
sure.
Dimension.
I can only see into the eighth dimension now.
Und jetzt möchte ich dir
And now I
erklären, wie
want
das
to
funktioniert.
explain to you
Es ist
how
nämlich
it's
so,
working.
dass die Seele etwas entscheidet.
It's working like this. The
Und dann
soul
wird
is
es
deciding
runtergebracht
something,
von
and then
Dimension zu Dimension, bis es in die
it's
dritte Dimension
going step by
kommt
step
und du es im Leben
downwards
nicht mehr fährst.
until you are going to experience it in your
Gut, ich
life.
mache ein Beispiel,
I give you an
damit du es
example
ein bisschen besser verstehst.
so that you can understand it better.
Sagen wir, hier ist die Seele.
Let's say here's the soul.
Und die Seele, die ist riesig und die
And
ist
the soul
für
is
jeden Menschen
huge, and for every
wunderschön und
human being it
lichtvoll
is
und
so
glänzend
beautiful and
und einfach
shining
wunderbar.
and simply wonderful.
Gut, dann
Alright.
hat die Seele einen Wunsch.
Then
einen
the soul
Antrag.
has a
Zum
desire
Beispiel,
or
die Seele sagt,
wants to do
ich möchte
something.
unbedingt Liebe
For example, it
und Liebe
says,
erfahren.
I really want to love, I want to experience
Und
what is a
dann
love.
wird gesagt, okay, gut. Und dann
And
geht
then
der
it says,
Wunsch
alright,
weiter in die
then-
siebte Dimension.
Then the desire
Die siebte
goes
Dimension
further
ist
into the
Lebensplan
seventh
geschrieben.
dimension where the life
Das heißt,
plan is written.
Das ist ein riesiger Prozess, wie der Lebensplan entsteht.
That is a
Der
huge
kommt
process, how the
von
life
der
plan
Erde,
is
von
being
deinem
designed, being created.
Planeten.
Many masters are coming, many
Und dann wird
angels,
es geschrieben,
and then it's going
geschrieben,
to be written.
Wer möchtest du treffen?
It's
Welche
being
Farben
written,
möchtest
whom you
du?
want to
Was
meet,
möchtest du
what
lernen?
experience you
Welche
want to make,
Schmerzen möchtest du
what you want to
durchleben und so
become,
weiter.
what pains you
Dann
want to go
wird es
through, and
geschrieben,
all these things.
die
And then when it's being written, it's going to be passed on into the sixth dimension. The sixth dimension is the dimension of the heart. That means your heart, the heart that you're feeling in your chest, is connected with the sixth dimension. That means the life plan gives an impulse at the right moment, at the right time in your life to the heart, and the heart is talking to you. That can mean, for example, that in a life plan it's written that we want to live love with a soul, and the soul is incarnated in Mexico, and you want to live it with the soul in Mexico, with it being in Mexico, but you are, for example, in Germany. Then one day your heart is telling you, I want to go to Mexico. The heart is not giving any reason or anything. It simply gives the next step. It's like a translation. You can imagine, like, in the seventh dimension, for example, in the eighth dimension, you have so many words to explain everything. But then when it goes down, in the seventh you have maybe a few hundred, in the sixth you have maybe 100 left, in the fifth you have a 50, fourth 20, and in the third maybe only 3. So in the third dimension you have to say something in 3 words what you could tell in the eighth dimension with 1,000 words. So it's gonna, like, it's percolating downwards, so to say. For example, like a picture, when it has less pixel, then it's kind of not so sharp. Or if it's 3-dimensional, then in the third dimension it's like just a drawing, and in the eighth it's a whole painting. So for example, it says want to go to Mexico, the heart, and then it goes to the fifth dimension. In the fifth dimension already some details are being played out. For example, you get ideas like do I just want to go to Mexico, or do I want to make holidays there? What do I want to experience? And then when this is done, it goes into the fourth dimension. And the fourth dimension, it's the dimension which most people only live from there. It's the dimension of thoughts, where all the thoughts are being stored in the brain. It's here. That means they here in the brain here, it's often times blocked, that what comes from a higher dimension cannot really flow into the fourth dimension, because the fourth dimension is so blocked with norms, with conditionings, and all this, what is being expected from my parents, from my relatives, from society, and so on. But let's say the connection is good and it's being realized that the soul now wants to go to Mexico. Then what happens in the fourth dimension is you're planning out. The soul is planning out. Alright, good. Do I have to learn Spanish? Do I need any special shoes, trekking shoes? Do I have to buy anything beforehand? Do I have to gather some money to buy the ticket? Do I have to give up the apartment beforehand? All these practical things are being planned out in the fourth dimension. And then when this is done, the planning, then it goes in the third dimension, flows down in the third dimension, and then it's being executed. It's being done very concrete, to buy the ticket, to really pack the suitcase, say goodbye to the people, go into the airplane and really fly to Mexico. Alright. That was roughly explained how it's working. So it begins with the soul on the top. She decides, she's the boss, and then it percolates down level for level until it reaches downwards, and then you can execute it, you can do it. And of course, the more you hear what your heart wants and what your heart likes to do, what your soul likes to do, you are more content, more happy, and you're fulfilled. You enjoy the life in the third dimension.
grob
So
verstehst.
that was simply for you to roughly understand how it goes. Don't worry if you didn't understand it completely. Your heart anyway knows how it works. So don't stay stuck in the head, just accept it. Right. Somebody's asking how to resolve the blockages in the fourth dimension. I'm going to tell that soon. Yeah, now we come to the earth. How it's working here on the earth. That's pretty similar. I've painted something nice here. So.
Gut.
All right.
Also.
So.
Jetzt.
Now.
Das ist natürlich toll.
This is of course is wonderful.
Jetzt musst du schauen.
Now look.
Das ist die Erde.
This is the earth.
Und das ist die Erde vor.
This is the earth before the 21st December 2012. And that is the earth after 21st December 2012.
Gut,
all right. And now, like every human being, every soul has different levels. Also, the earth has different levels or dimensions. That means here we have the third dimension, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, and the seventh dimension of the earth. And here also third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. And now what we can recognize here is before the 21st December 2012, the seventh and the sixth dimension was completely bright and full of light, and the fifth dimension was completely dark and stuck, and also the fourth and the third. That is also what I explained in earlier videos, what happened there on the 21st December 2012. Because of the planetary constellation, such a strong energy ray was sent, and of course all the masters, all the light workers and all the angels have helped with this. That means that within 3 days there, of course the earth is turning until it goes all around. The fifth dimension was completely cleansed, completely purified, and half of the fourth. Here you can see it. The seventh, the sixth, the fifth is completely clean, and the fourth is halfway purified. And the third is still full. The fourth still, all the thoughts, all the stuff, all the rubbish. And here a human being also has to go through all these layers. Here you see the human being, it's standing at the North Pole. Here on the top you have the eighth dimension or the soul. Here the light comes from here, the light of the soul, and has to, so to say, make its way through the dimensions. I remember how I did that. It was really uncomfortable because from the fifth dimension it feels really ugly, and then you go through these dimensions and then you land here into the womb of the mother. And when you're here in the womb, when you're a baby, after a while you take on these levels or these dimensions. That means also your own levels or dimensions are going to be a little bit contaminated. And then what the earth decided to take the step, to step out of the darkness, out of the ignorance, and it was a clear decision that it's going to do it. It's going to go into the light again and go through this darkness. It was decided. It doesn't come from somebody bad or so. It was decided. Always here at the seventh dimension, from the masters, from high beings, highly evolved beings, beings who love the earth, who love the human beings, who know about the cosmic laws, who know the truth, who know the love, who know everything. And only those who really know about these things, they are able to do this. They're allowed to do this. And everything, whatever happens, everything in every life is going to be decided in the seventh dimension first. So meaning, whatever happens on the earth has the okay, has the permission of all these masters and all these wonderful beings. Otherwise, it could never percolate down here to the earth. That means at some point it has been decided that the earth is going to go into a dark age where a lot of things being forgotten, because for the soul it's also very exciting to experience, to forget who the soul is. It's very exciting, very joyful. Will I make it if I don't remember myself? And now they decided it's done. And that's why also the indigo children came here to clean many things in the fifth dimension. And also many light workers, also thanks to you, it could be done. And now it's like this here, and in the next years now, in the third and fourth dimension, it's also going to be completely purified, and then it's going to be even much more beautiful here on the earth. And now what's happened is that the dimensions coming closer to each other and they're merging with each other. That's what's happening on the earth right now. Alright. So, now I'm going to explain to you how this is going to have an effect. That means these dimensions are now purified, are now clean, and through that the love and the light and the truth can flow much better towards the earth and also into every human being's life. Because around 2012, all human beings whom I know, family, relatives, customers, all they had an event in their life, a fateful event. Be it separation, about the work, whatever. That had to happen with all human beings who are living on the earth, so that they can go on, or that the fifth dimension could be purified, so they could go on, that earth could go on. The earth cannot go on without the human beings. It's a collaboration. When the planet decides to take a step, then also all human beings have to go along and take this step. Good. And through that with all human beings, or with most human beings, the fifth dimension is free or clean. The messages from their soul can much better reach them or come through. That's why many people are more involved in changes. Many people are waking up. Many people feel my life is not as it was before. Somehow I have to make a change. So the usual changes we already are used to. On the earth, the same thing is happening. For example, let's say 20 years ago a politician told a lie. He told some nonsense, and it didn't come to the surface, and it took maybe 10 years or so that somebody discovered it. It may also happen that no one discovered it. Or let's say now, another example, 5 years ago somebody has told a lie, and now 2-3 years or so, or a few years later it came out. But now, when now someone tells a lie or says something false, then it takes only 2 days or so, and it is being revealed. It's going to happen much faster now. The light, the love, the truth, it's all coming to the light much faster now. It's being reflected. Also, the wishes, they come much faster. And now we are going to talk about the refugee issues and all the issues on the earth. For example, here in Europe, now I talk about Switzerland, Austria, Germany, the other countries I'm not so familiar with, that we have lost certain things in our cultures. For example, the bigger family, or many children are being put in the put away, put in a hospital. Please, dear mothers, our children are very important. They're our future. Please don't push them away like that. Recently, I saw a study that when children are a whole day without the parents, it's such a psychological stress for them. So please don't let your children alone. They need you at least until 5, 6 or 7 years, they're 7 years old.
Also das heißt, wir haben gewisse Dinge
That means
verloren.
we have lost certain things here. We don't have this sticking together, the sense of a family and so on. So many of us feel lonely. We sit alone at home, don't have such a big circle of friends. I'm also traveling a lot. When I have some tasks somewhere to do, some assignments, then I see how different cultures still have this. We also had this, but somehow we have lost it. We got used to think more about ourselves, about the money and so on. And so whenever something comes from abroad, whatever it is, be it many people or just one or two, then that means in the other country there's something missing. For example, many refugees are coming to Germany. That means something is missing in Germany. And that means the refugees that are coming to Germany, they can bring in what is missing in Germany. And because it's always a win-win situation, the people, for example, from Syria who are coming to Germany, they're also lacking something, and that is what Germany has. And it's about recognizing, realizing that it's like a team, that the Germans are open, okay, what can we learn from them, what we have forgotten maybe, and that the Syrians, for example, ask themselves, what have the Germans achieved, what are they capable of, what can we learn from them? It's not just like I'm a foreigner, I'm living here. No, look inside yourself. Same for man, between man and woman. The woman can do something what the man cannot do. The man can do something what the woman cannot do. It's always complementary, even though you don't realize it in the beginning. That's regarding the refugees. And then about the mirror. That means, for example, when I'm suppressing something here, for example, my feelings or a need, then, because all human beings are like a team, we are all working together, we are also connected with the earth, and sometimes you feel it, sometimes you don't. And then when I suppress something here, then earlier, because the levels were still contaminated, it had no consequences, but now it's getting more and more lightful, full of light, more and more open, it has its effects. That means when I'm suppressing something, that the other part of the earth, it could be that something is coming to the surface, because you know about the balancing, it has always been balanced. When, for example, when I am not fulfilling my need, for example, I have the need to have more friends, or I have the need to eat more. There are so many needs, no? So when I'm not giving this to myself, then somewhere on the other part of the world, there is hunger, there's starvation. That is the law of the universe. I've talked earlier already, there are some books about it. I cannot explain now in detail how that works. It is simply like that. Simply because it's going to be more lightful right now. It's going to be much much rapid, much more quick. So when I'm suppressing something here, it's going to surface in the other part of the world. It may not even be in my place, but it's in another country, or it's not right now, it's in another generation. In the Easter Islands, you can see this obviously. When you think about something, it's immediately there. When you suppress something, immediately you have the answer. When you have an inner conflict inside of you with something, immediately you see how two people are quarreling with each other. Immediately it's projected, immediately it's being reflected. Now, at the moment, it's already faster than a year ago, and it's going to become much faster, and it's really amazing. It's really fantastic. In the beginning, it's maybe a bit new or a bit uncomfortable, that it's all going to be reflected back to you, but when you accept it, when you go into that and allow it, then you can really handle it. It needs more self-responsibility. That means and an understanding, insight into that we are all one. That means when something is not good for me, then it can be that it affects all humanity, or not all humanity, but a part, or the earth. That's why it's so important that we look into, are we alright, are we feeling well? Also about wars. Whenever a war is surfacing, then it's simply a mirror. Wherever it is, in Europe or any part of the world, a war has to surface externally so that we can see that we can realize that, see inside ourselves and see, where do I have still some war going on? A war with myself, with my brother, with my work, maybe with somebody from my school days. Internally, it's going on internally. It's like going into yourself and resolving the wars that you are fighting inside yourself. And when you see something that you are suppressing, to resolve these things, to embrace these things. For example, if you suppress some feelings like fear or anger, to embrace them. Of course, almost everybody is suppressing something. We were raised like this, but now it's so important that we return and alright. When you want to do something now to improve the situation on the earth, simply to do something, because many people ask me, Lena, what can I do? What's going on? What you can do is always follow your heart. Listen to your inner instincts. Listen to what your heart is telling you to do. And the other thing that you also got to do, or whatever always is good to do, because your heart, to follow your heart, of course, your heart always tells you what to do and when. And then, of course, never anything is going to happen to you. Of course, you're always secure, but this definitely helps. And the other thing is, of course, to look into all your conflicts inside of you. If you really want peace on the earth, then this is what helps the most. If you are honest with yourself and look into these inner conflicts. There are many inner peace meditations. You can also go for consultations. There are many possibilities to achieve that. The next point is, whatever you are suppressing, let it out. Let it out. Anger, sadness, hatred, joy. Oftentimes we suppress our joy, or we suppress our sexuality, or we suppress our creativity. That we simply go inside of ourselves and see, what am I suppressing? How can I let it out? How can I heal it, for example? There are also several meditations or ways to do this. If you're already used to it, then simply do it by yourself. If you are guiding a meditation group, then you may want to do it in a group, as you like. The third thing is to fulfill your needs. You are loved. You are deeply loved. And you can have everything that you need. You don't need to hold yourself back. You don't need to hold yourself back. You don't need to be too humble. Give yourself everything that you need. If you don't know how, tell your guardian angel, he's gonna deal with it for you. Or whatever being you connect to. Let's say you don't have a possibility to meditate in that way. You want to do it with me, for example. Then we have a possibility on the 21st September, next Monday. I'm offering this in a group, so where we're going to go through all these issues, where we have a meditation about inner peace and to let out all that is being suppressed and to fulfill your needs. You could register on my homepage, lena.ch. If you are listening now to this video and the meditation has already happened, then the MP3 will be available still on my website, where you can still listen to it afterwards. So, now I've told so much, and the spiritual world has so many more information, but this was the most important.
Gut, also
Alright.
jetzt haben wir Zeit für
Now we have time
Fragen.
for questions.
Kannst du in den Chat unten
You can come here in the chat below and type your
questions.
questions.
Also, eine Frage kam, warum
One
hassen
question
viele
came up.
deutsche Flüchtlinge?
Why do
Also
many
es ist so,
Germans
wenn ein
hate
Flüchtling
refugees?
kommt, dann bringt er immer etwas, was dem Land fehlt.
So it's like
Und das,
this,
was dir
when a
fehlt,
refugee
ist
comes,
nicht
it's always bringing something
eingestellt.
that the
Das ist
country is
oft auch so eine
missing.
Beziehung, dass dir eigentlich was
And
fehlt, aber dir fehlt es, weil du es irgendwie
oftentimes we don't accept it. It's because we know something is missing, but we didn't accept this and want to forget about it. And so the foreigner is coming and he's capable of something, and but you find it difficult to do this, but he's bringing it in. And then a question about the chemtrails, if there are any effects. Chemtrails, so it depends how you decide in these levels. You can choose that in the third dimension, for example, now where still is a lot of garbage in the third dimension, if it should have an effect on you or not. If not, then you can just switch it off or let it out. Similarly with the chemtrails, with all these things. So all these things that don't seem to go well here on the earth, it's very important. Check in your heart. Is it something that you should deal with? Is it your task to do something against the chemtrails, for example? If you feel in your heart very clearly, yes, it's my task to inform people, to tell the politicians that this is being dealt with, then do it. If you feel it's not your task, then let it go. Let it. My task, for example, is the love and the truth, and I do everything that is part of this task. I could also heal so many other things, but this is not my task. That's why we have so many human beings in our team. Everybody is doing their role. Another question, can it be that my pets have a disease because I'm suppressing my feelings? Yes. Whenever you are suppressing something, some feeling inside of you, then your partner, your children, or your pets, they have to reflect something for you. Because when you suppress something, you don't feel good. It doesn't serve you. So the others also want to help you, so to say, an S-angel. When somebody's an S-angel, then they want to help you let it go. So to liberate you, to let go of your burden. You can, of course, also simply be happily joyful and don't have to suppress it. Somebody's writing, thank you, Lena. I have also seen and felt it like this. Yes, so simply have to see that there's a lot of drama in the world and many terrible things, but you always have to see or know that the soul is choosing certain traumas, because through these traumas the soul can realize something, make some experiences. For us it's not understandable, mostly because nobody would choose that somebody is being shot or something terrible happens, but it's like this, about 90% is being chosen by the soul. So don't be too concerned about other people. For example, when you see that another human being suffers very much, then see what it does with you, see the pain inside of you, feel that, and what another person is going through or another soul is going through doesn't have to affect you, but if it does, heal it inside of yourself, go through it inside of yourself. Now how can we hear what the heart is saying? On my website I have a heart meditation, you can check it out. there you can see or feel where your heart is located, and you can also hear how your heart is talking. And also I have a seminar recorded, Where's My Heart? And I explain you there exactly how your heart is communicating with you, how we're going to deal with it. Or here, My Heart book for you and your heart. Here also everything is described, how it works with the heart, and what's the difference. When is the head talking? When is the heart talking? That's called For You and Your Heart. Exactly. Right. Someone is asking, when is the suffering that's being felt so intensely right now, when does it come to an end? The suffering comes to an end when all human beings have woke up. And now, of course, we want all the state of suffering be gone, everything rosy and beautiful. One thing I have to tell you about the earth, when everything is healed and clear. Oh, hello. I'm here again. We had some technical issues. Somebody stepped on my internet cable, so to speak. So we don't have sufficient time to answer all the questions, but I will answer as many as possible now. Otherwise, on Monday, on the 21st September, you can ask more questions. Here's a question. How do I deal with aggressive people? With love. Love is actually the answer to all questions, because if somebody is aggressive, he or she is caught in this emotion, this feeling. Either you let him alone or you embrace him. Exactly. Another question. How is it about the child's desire? Is it simply a desire, or is it not the incarnated human being? For children, it's already like this. The soul has contracts, makes contracts with the father and mother soul. And when it suits, that's why there's so many couples, they're trying and trying and trying, and the child is not coming because the time is not right or the moment is not right. So you have to be patient and wait, or you can see what is not right in the relationship, or am I not feeling comfortable yet, or whatever it is.
Okay, die nächste Frage ist,
the next question is,
sich die ganzen kosmischen Ereignisse demnächst aus? Blutmond,
Finsternis, Welle, how do all the cosmic events going to have an effect on the Earth or on us soon? I haven't heard about these things in detail. I'm not so informed about these things. So
es kann immer nur zwei Dinge auswirken. Entweder
you can only do two things. Either bring something to the surface, what anyway is supposed to come to the surface, or it brings peace where you can relax. This is like with ebb and flow with the tides. Either something is being washed to the surface, or it calms you down, gives you love and light, makes you really peaceful.
So when
does the golden age begin? That means when will human beings start to think differently, wake up, really wake up for what we are already seeing for a long time. The golden age has already begun. We are in the golden age. The question is more, why are you disturbed that still some people are sleeping? It's okay, no, if they're still sleeping. Ask yourself, where's your joy? What do you want to do in your life? And follow that. Let the others be. When somebody wants to wake up, then they will come to you and then you can help them to wake up. That's alright.
Also jemand
So
fragt,
somebody's asking,
kannst du mir sagen,
can you
warum
tell
sich
me
ausgerechnet jetzt meine Zwillingsseele von mir trennt?
why
Und
especially
was
now
ich
my
da
twin
zu
soul
lernen
is
habe?
separating from myself? Can you tell me what I have
Also
to
das
learn
ist zum
from that?
Beispiel eine Frage, wo du
That's, for
gerne auch in
example,
meine
a
Traumpaarberatung
question
kommen
where you
kannst.
can come to my
Mit
dream
dabei
couple
die
consultation. I'm
Beratung
offering
an, wo wir schauen,
this consultation
geht
where
es
we look
darum, in dieser
into,
Beziehung etwas für dich zu lernen oder
is
ist
there
es einfach
something in
von der
this
Seele
relationship
entschlossen, dass wir
for
jetzt
you to
getrennte
learn,
Wege gehen?
or is it
Weil
decided by
wenn
the
zwei
soul
Seelen
that
sich
we go
entscheiden,
different
dass wir
paths
jetzt
now?
nichts mehr zusammen lernen können
If the
oder
soul
dass wir
has
jetzt einfach
decided
etwas
that we cannot
anderes
learn
erfahren
anything
möchten
more
im
together
Leben,
now,
dann
or
wird es
want to
so
experience
sein,
something
dann wird
else in
es so
life, then it's
kommen.
going to be like this. It's going to come.
Und wenn es aber darum geht, etwas zu
If
lernen,
it's
für sich
about
selber
to
zu
learn
wachsen,
something
dann
about
geht
yourself,
es
to
auch so
grow,
um
then it's
andere
also going to
Beratung,
happen.
wo ich anbiete, können wir
In
dann
the
schauen,
consultation that I'm
was
offering,
möchte deine Seele
we can
da
look into this to
wirklich
see what your
haben.
heart, what your soul really wants to do.
Genau.
Exactly, yeah.
Die Frage wurde vorhin
The
unterbrochen,
question
wann
was
ist das ganze
interrupted
Leid auf der Erde
before.
zu Ende?
When will suffering
Also
come
das
to an
Leid
end on
ist
the
dann
earth?
auf der Ende zu Ende,
Suffering
wenn
ends on the
wir
earth when
alle aufgewacht
we
sind
all woke
und
up
dieses Leid
and
umarmen. Weil
have
Leid
embraced
ist wie ein
that
Kuchen, du
suffering.
musst es einfach essen und dann
Suffering
ist
is
er
like a
weg.
cake. You simply have
Und
to eat
Leid
it and then
kannst
it's
du
gone.
heilen und transformieren und leben und dann löst es sich
You
auf.
can
Das
heal, you
heißt,
can
dass wir aber alle
transform the
als Team
suffering, and then it's being
zusammenarbeiten
dissolved.
müssen. Also
That
das
means
Ego
as a
in
team we
sich
have to work together. That means
schauen muss, ja,
everybody
was
has
habe
to
ich für
look
ein Leid,
into
wie
oneself and
kann ich
see
es heilen.
how much
Und dann
suffering do
gibt
I
es
have, how can I
diesen
heal that.
Moment und ich weiß
And
nicht,
then there
wann
is this
es wird kommen,
moment, and I
irgendwann in der
know
Zukunft,
this moment is going to
wo alle
come
Menschen
somewhere in the future
aufgewacht
where all
sind, wo
people
alle Menschen
woke up
Party
and
feiern
all
und alle einfach
people are
glücklich sind und
celebrating, making party and are
selbstbewusst
happy
und
and
selbstverantwortlich an
are
ihren Themen arbeiten,
self-confident
sich
and
selber glücklich
self-responsible,
machen,
working on their
glücklich
issues,
sein
making
können,
themselves
Frieden in
happy,
sich
fulfilling
erschaffen
their
und das dann
needs,
auch in die Welt
creating
gespiegelt
peace
wird,
inside of
so wie wir
themselves, and
das
then
schon
it's being
hatten im Himmel,
reflected
ja, Atlantis
in
und so.
the world and on
Und
the
an
earth
diesem
like we
Punkt
had it already in Lemuria,
werden wir
Atlantis, and
alle
so on.
total fröhlich
And
sein
at
und
that
glücklich
point,
sein
we're
und
all
wir
going to
werden
be
diesen
very
Moment
happy, very
feiern.
joyful. We're going to
Und
celebrate
wir
this
werden
moment.
auch
And
traurig sein, weil
we will
wir dann
also
nicht
we're
mehr
also going
vergessen
to
können
be
und werden
sad
nicht mehr
because we cannot
anschauen
forget
können, weil
anymore.
es
We cannot be afraid
keine
anymore
schlimmen Sachen
because
gibt, wo
there
es
are no
unsere
terrible
Hilfe
things
braucht.
anymore
Also,
where it needs our help.
also
So
es gibt nichts, was wirklich
there's
schlimm
nothing
ist und
that's
nichts, was
really
wirklich
terrible
gut
or
ist.
that's really good, so to say.
Okay, da fragt jemand, wie
Okay,
schütze
somebody's
ich mich
asking, how
vor
can
den
I
negativen Einflüssen der
protect
dritten und
myself
vierten Dimension?
from the negative influences of the third and the fourth dimension?
Du kannst es einfach
You
rausdrücken.
can
Also
simply
klar, es gibt verschiedene
push it
Heilungen, die
out.
man
Of
machen
course,
kann. Was halt viele
there are
machen,
certain
ist
healings you
arbeiten,
can do.
Glaubenssätze erarbeiten und so weiter und halt wirklich durch dein Seelenlicht
You can
diese
create certain
Zeichnung,
beliefs or
diese
so,
Zeit
and
das Seelenlicht wirklich
definitely through
runterbringen
your
und raus,
spirit
so
light,
dass nur deine
bring
Seele
your spirit
braucht.
light down and push these things from your being.
Genau.
Of course.
Okay.
Okay.
Gut,
Good.
also.
Alright.
Ich sehe, ich habe hier noch
I
ganz
see
viele Fragen.
I'm having so
Aber
many questions
die Zeit
here,
rennt uns leider davon.
but the time is running
Falls du
running
jetzt eine
away.
Frage hast, die du
If you have any
beantwortet
question that you
haben willst,
really
komm am
want to
Montag,
have
am
answered, then come on Monday, on 21st September
2015.
2015.
Kannst dich anmelden.
You can
Steht
register.
alles auf meiner Homepage,
It's all written on my website, lena.ch.
Ansonsten,
Otherwise,
wenn du deine Beziehung noch mehr näher möchtest oder einfach
if you
an
want
deiner
to
Beziehung zu deinem geliebten Partner arbeiten
work on
möchtest,
your
kannst du zu
relationship
meiner
with your
kommen.
partner, for example, you can come to
Ansonsten
my
war es mir eine
dream
Ehre,
partner
dich
consultation.
beglücken zu
Otherwise, it
dürfen.
was my honor to
Und
share the happiness with you,
ja, ich wünsche dir, dass du
and
dein Erdenleben einfach
I wish
genießt
for you that you
und
enjoy your life on
einfach
earth
mit
and
den Veränderungen mitgehen
simply
kannst und
go
schauen
with
kannst,
the
okay, tut
changes
mir das,
and see,
tut mir das nicht gut,
does it do good for me,
was
does
kann
it
ich
feel
tun, was
right,
kann ich
or
nicht tun und so
doesn't
weiter.
it? What can I
Und dass
do,
du vor allem im
what can I
Vertrauen
not do,
bleibst,
and so
weil
on.
egal was
That you
kommt,
stay in the
wir
clarity, that
sind
you
immer
stay in the
sicher und
trust,
es ist immer gut so für uns.
that it's always safe and it's always good for us.
Macht's gut und vielleicht
Alright.
sehen wir uns irgendwann mal.
Farewell, and hopefully we see each other
Tschüss!
somewhere again. Bye.